How much of a role should an Agile coach play in a sprint review? Well, again, it depends. When we say Agile coach, what do we mean? Are we talking about the Scrum Master, often involved facilitating the meeting, making sure there's an agenda, making sure that we move through all the key points and we achieve the purpose being that we get feedback on the product and we inspect and adapt it properly to be the best thing. So if you're in that role, if you're in a team coaching role working within the team, you probably want to be in there, not leading sections. This is often one of the mistakes we make is we think as Scrum Masters, as Agile coaches working in a team that we should impart the information. Don't do it. Okay, great facilitation is outside of the content. We create the space, we set the ground rules, we hold people to those rules. So what you want to do inside the team is be clear. This is the agenda. This is what we're going to cover. Is there anything else that we need to cover? I'm not a fan of any other business. I'm a fan of them giving me something concrete that we can build into the schedule there and then. Often, I'll be honest, nobody's got anything. Right? It's a fairly contained meeting. We want to talk about this product. How do we make it better? Okay. But then I will invite the developers or the product owner to the floor to talk. It's theirs. They did the work. This is not our work. Right? So this is what we thought we could do. This is what we're doing. Who it is, that really doesn't matter. Okay? But it's the team stepping up and saying, we are proud enough to stand in front of you, the stakeholders, and say we did this work. Okay? We are confident it's good. Right? And that sets a scene. Our role in it is give them that space. Make sure that they're prepped. I'll be honest, that's sometimes what we're doing in the early days, is helping developers step into that space. Saying, look, it's not scary. Well, it might be scary, but it's safe. Nobody's going to shoot you because you didn't manage to deliver what you said you would. Because guess what? They've got years of experience of not receiving what they've told they'll get. They're used to that. What they want to do is hear why. And you can give that better than anybody else. So we're going to create that space. We're going to tee up the team to really have good conversations, open, honest. Okay? By giving them an agenda and say, at this point, we're going to be talking about this type of stuff. You may want to think about what the questions are and the answers are. I'm not talking about coaching them to get through a meeting, but just give them the structure so that they can prepare. Okay? And we're going to do that. We're going to give product owners space. We're going to make sure that stakeholders are engaged, that stakeholders know the rules of the game, that they're being good citizens in that meeting. Okay? Sometimes we have to ask people to step out, take a breather, and come back when they've calmed down. That's okay. These can be emotional things. We all play with different types of personality. Okay? So in the team, it's very much you're a facilitator. You're making sure that everybody else has the space they need to do the thinking and do the work they need to do to come up with the right outcome, or a good outcome, should I say. If you're not in that team role, if you're sat outside of the team, you may be coaching the product owner and the Scrum Master as more of a supporting role. Your role is going to be different. You may or may not be in the meeting itself. Very often, the early days of working with new coaches and new Scrum Masters, yes, I am present. I am a backstop. Okay? But I am a backstop. I am not there to do the work because this is their moment to shine. This is their opportunity to gain experience and learn how to do things. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit down with that coach, that Scrum Master beforehand, and help them understand, okay, what's your plan here? How do we communicate that? Who do we need to invite in? Who do we not? Who does the product owner need in this meeting? Do they understand the rules of the games? How can we get ahead of it? Okay, teeing up that Scrum Master, that Agile coach, to have thought about the review holistically, a bigger picture, and thought, who's coming in? Have they ever been into a sprint review before? Do I need to go and have a chat with them beforehand so they know what they can expect and how to engage in this approach? Okay. And then I'm going to be there in the meeting as that backstop. I know the plan the same as they do. Sometimes stuff happens. I've had people drop off calls mid-sentence. I'm still there, so I can just pick up. And it does turn into, okay, Jenny seems to have been taken out by the internet gods, so we're moving into this. And when Jenny reappears, she can take back over. I keep things going. I have only had once where my coach genuinely forgot. They just had a moment, their brain stopped working, and I took over. I let them go, calm back down, find out where they were, and it genuinely was go back, read a book, find where they were in the plan, rejoin the meeting, and take over from me. That's fine. That's what I'm there for. I'm there to help them grow as Agile coaches. And then afterwards, I'm going to continue in that role. Okay? We're going to have a chat with whoever was the facilitator. Sit down and say, okay, let's take a moment to reflect. How did it go? How can we improve? What can you learn from this experience? How can you be better? Okay? Very much a coaching moment. So it depends on what you're doing, on what you're there for, as to how you engage in a sprint review. But as an Agile coach, you're very often going to be in the doing. You're going to think about the plan beforehand. You're going to execute your agenda. You're going to create a space for other people to do great work. And you're going to take a moment afterwards to think, okay, that went well. Well done me. How can I be better next time? Right? And as a team coach, you're going to be doing that all on your own. As a more supporting coach, somebody who's there to help other coaches, you're going to be helping them through those steps. Okay? Creating that space to help them do the thinking, to create those habits so that they can grow into their own mastery. If you've got to this point in the video, I hope you've enjoyed it. If so, a like would be appreciated. If you want to hear more from me, more answers to questions that maybe you've got in the Agile world, please subscribe to the channel. And if you've got a question that you really want answered, drop it in the comments. I promise we'll get around to it. Thank you.